coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Godwin Sunday. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. And to the news. President Bola Tinubu will deliver a presidential address before a joint section of the National Assembly on Thursday, June the 12th, as part of event marking Nigeria's Democracy Day celebration. The event is scheduled to be held in the House of Representatives chamber of the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. This was confirmed in a statement by the spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Akeem Rotimi, referencing an internal memorandum issued by the clerk of the House, Yahya Danzaria, which officially notified lawmakers of the proceedings. The special joint sitting will begin at 11 a.m. with plenary activities before the arrival of President Tinubu, who is expected at noon. In the meantime, the federal government has declared Thursday, June 12, a national public holiday in observance of Democracy Day, marking 26 years of uninterrupted civil rule in Africa's most populous nation. The announcement was made in a statement issued by Magdalene Ajani, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Interior. The statement says Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, extending congratulations to citizens and emphasizing the importance of the milestone. As Salah, a symbol of faith, unity, and resilience, enter its third day, Muslims defy economic hardship to celebrate the festival of sacrifice with joy and gratitude. Our correspondent, Samuel Odi, completes the story.
Speaking after the Eid Kabir prayer in Lagos, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasized compassion, unity, and selflessness during the season, urging citizens to support the vulnerables and behave responsibly. He highlighted the extraordinary effort of troops on the front lines and encouraged fervent prayers for their safety.
The spirit of peace must come together, be one another's brother's keeper, give your neighbors, love everyone equally. We must pray hard for our troops who are keeping us safe, making the sacrifices in the challenges that we face in terrorism and banditry today. We must pray for them specifically, and we must remember their sacrifices and continue to be of good behavior.
The event was attended by key government officials, security advisors, and prominent business leaders. The chief imam of Lagos State also urged the faithfuls to emulate Prophet Abraham's spirit of sacrifice. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Well, each of the 3,200 pilgrims from Sokoto State have received 1,000 Saudi Riyals, an equivalent of 450,000 Naira Salah gift from Governor Ahmed Aliyu of Sokoto State. The governor made the announcement during a visit to the Sokoto contingent in Mina, Niger State, where he congratulated them on the successful completion of the Hajj exercise. Aliyu stated that the gesture was aimed at supporting the pilgrims financially as they prepare for their return journey to Nigeria. 9 persons have lost their lives in a fatal motor accident in Kiaraman village, Regime local government area of Jigawa State. Jigawa State Police Command said the incident, which occurred on Saturday at about 2 p.m. involved 2 Gulf 3 Ceylon vehicles and left several other persons injured. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Sisu Adam, stated that one of the vehicles was driven by Adamu Sanusi, a 35-year-old man from Adejia local government and heading to Gunjugu town from Abuja. A former Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, has decried the failure of successive governments to implement the WISE Electoral Reform Committee recommendations on electoral reform in the past 17 years. Okechukwu urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to muster the political will and clear the WISE debt burden by amending the Constitution. He charged the president to make public appointments of chairmen and members of both national and state electoral commissions mandatory. Governor Hyacinth Alia has gained support from fellow clergymen in the face of mounting calls for a state of emergency in Benue State. Global TV's correspondent Felicity Ndere reports that the Benue State chapter of the Charismatic Bishop Conference of Nigeria rejected calls from some of their colleagues for the declaration of state of emergency or emergency rule during a press briefing held in Makurdi, the state capital.
The recent wave of deadly attacks on vulnerable communities in Benue State has heightened insecurity and sparked mixed reactions from residents and observers alike, with some individuals and groups calling on President Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in Benue. In response to the calls, Archbishop Alexander Nyoki, State Overseer of the Charismatic Bishops Conference of Nigeria, said Governor Hyacinth Alia, as a fellow clergyman, deserves the support of religious leaders, emphasizing that Benue needs unity, not a state of emergency, to confront its common enemy.
As fathers of faith, when you have a son and a brother in the vineyard and is doing well, you say, my brother, keep it on. I must say thank you, Mr. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. As you earlier on said, you are standing by the Benue people. We say continue to stand with us and continue to stand with our governor. He's our brother in the vineyard, and we are praying seriously, and what I'm expressing here is pray ye and watch.
The Archbishop stressed that at this critical time, Benue requires unity and collective support for the governor to succeed. He referenced biblical teachings that calls on believers to respect authority, noting that leadership is divinely ordained.
We cannot be against anybody that is saying anything. What we know is there's no authority that is set on earth that is not from God. Any authority that is set on earth comes from God. And the Bible says you must be submissive to the authority. We are the state chapter here. Yes, we are prophets, but we are submissive to the authority. We want to call on Benue citizens and the Christian body not to join the people who kill the child and divide the child. Let the child live so that tomorrow we will use, and tomorrow we will send, and tomorrow the child will feed us.
Clerics reaffirmed their support for Governor Alia and praised President Bola Tinubu for his continued commitment to the people of Benue, particularly his recent directive for the Chief of Army Staff to pay a 2-day operational visit to the state for on-the-spot assessment in response to the escalating insecurity. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, Cloba TV News. To the state for on-the-spot assessment in response to the escalating insecurity. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, Cloba.
The North Central All Progressive Congress APC Forum has declared that its push for Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang to join the party is based on a directive from above. The forum has been calling on Mutfwang of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to defect to the All Progressive Congress (APC). However, the forum's attempts to woo Mutfwang are being restricted by some leaders of the APC in Plateau State, who believe the governor's defection will automatically hand him the party structure as well as the governorship ticket for the 2027 election. The Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, has faulted the federal government's directive mandating a full transition to computer-based testing for WAEC and NECO examinations by 2026. warning that such a move will not end examination malpractice in the country. NUT National President Comrade Audu Amba stated this during an interview in Abuja, saying the real issue driving malpractice is the overemphasizing on paper qualifications. Amba noted that the Nigerian society places too much value on certificates and grades without considering the actual intelligence or capacity of the students. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has warned of likely thunderstorms and rainfall in most parts of Nigeria between Sunday the 9th and Tuesday the 11th, 2025. The alert contained in NIMET Weather Outlook released in Abuja forecast a wet start to the week with heavy downpours expected in the north, north-central, and southern parts of the country. In the evening hours, there are prospects of thunderstorms with rains over parts of Taraba, Adamawa, Katsina, Kano, Zamfara, Kaduna, Jigawa, Borno, Gombe, and Bauchi. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, federal government set to revive Ajaokuta Power Steel Plant. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. And welcome back. In business, the Deputy National Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Highway and Transportation Engineers, Engineer Dr. Bola Madasiru, says Nigeria requires an estimated $3 trillion investment to meet the infrastructure demand of its growing population of over 200 million people. He made this revelation while speaking at a mentorship and scholarship program organized by the institution in collaboration with the Civil Engineering Department of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. The Minister of Steel Development, Shuaibu Abubakar Audu, says that the federal government has reached an advanced stage in its bid to revive the comatose Ajaokuta Steel Company in Kogi State. The minister disclosed this while hosting stakeholders of the All Progressive Congress in Kogi State at his country home in Ogbonicha, Ofu local government area of the state. Audu stated that the federal government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the original equipment manufacturers of the plant to that effect. State and local government own a combined 4.09 trillion to banks and the Central Bank of Nigeria as of December 2024. Fresh data released in CBN's latest quarterly statistics bulletin showed that the figure represented a slight reduction of 112 billion or 2.7% compared to the 4.20 trillion naira recorded in December 2023, suggesting a marginal improvement in the subnational debt profile. A breakdown of the December 2024 data showed that commercial and merchant bank accounted for the largest portion of the bank at 2.41 trillion naira, representing 58.9% of the total. This marked a decline from the 2.64 trillion owed to them at the end of 2023, indicating a reduction of 233 billion naira within the year. Masked and armed federal government agents have carried out sweeping immigration raids in Los Angeles, while others pounced on migrants at the New York courthouse in forceful display of U.S. President Donald Trump's crackdown on people without documentation. Our correspondent, Priscilla Obasi, has the details. Apologies for our inability to bring you that report. We promise to bring you in subsequent bulletin. In another development, President Donald Trump has warned that there would be serious consequences if tech mogul Elon Musk funds Democratic candidates to run against Republicans who vote in favor of the GOP's sweeping budget bill. The president also said he has no desire to repair his relationship with Musk after a feud between the two men erupted into public view. Trump's comments were the most expensive since he and Musk exchanged threats and attacks on X and Truth Social earlier this week. In preparation for the UN-organized Ocean Conference, UNOC, Greenpeace International delegation to the conference has announced the NGO's objectives. The conference is aimed at rallying global leaders into supporting a memorandum of understanding on deep-sea mining, a continuous practice opposed by 33 nations so far. Here is Uyi Agbomofuegbe's report.
There is pressure on the United Nations Ocean Conference starting Monday in Nice to show that countries can unite and deliver more than just talk for the world's ailing and neglected seas. Megan Randles, head of Greenpeace International's delegation to the conference, breaks down the implications of the threats.
The ocean is currently facing a multitude of threats, from overfishing, destructive fishing, and the climate emergency. What we're really hoping to see is that politicians really come together and protect the ocean at UNOC. The science is clear. When you protect the ocean, it can bounce back. However, all governments have committed to protecting 30% of the ocean by 2030.
France is hosting world leaders this week to confront what the United Nations calls a global emergency in the oceans. But what is expected, and can the summits make a difference?
At UNOC, we are hoping that we'll have this moment of celebration. However, at the moment, only 30 countries have ratified. We really need to see 60, and we're hoping that that's what we'll get from the end of this conference.
Uyi Agbomofuegbe reporting for Global TV News. There is pressure.
And in sports, Nigerian Sports Commission has formally inaugurated two vital committees, the Election Petition Committee and the Election Appeal Committee, as part of its effort to ensure transparency, fairness and integrity in the conduct of Sports Federation elections. A statement signed by Dr. Kehinde Ajayi, the Commission's Director of Press, says the selection was made in line with international standard and its renewed commitment to excellence in sports governance. Coco Gauff has won the French Open title for the first time by defeating top-ranked Aryna Sabalenka 6-7, 5-6-2, 6-4 in Saturday's final. The second-ranked Gauff came out on top of a contest that was full of tension and momentum swings to claim a second major trophy after the 2023 US Open, where she also came from a set down to beat Sabalenka in the final. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.